Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about There's Something About Sweetie by Sandhya Menon. This book came out earlier this year. It's a YA contemporary, and this follows the story of Sweetie, and she is a fat girl, and she also is the fastest runner on her high school track team. It also follows the story of Ashish, and he is in high school as well, and he recently got dumped, and he is just trying to recover and cope, and because that's never happened to him before, so he's just trying to deal with all of that. And one day Ashish's friend suggests that he asks his parents to set him up with a girl because it's worked out for people that they know. And at first Ashish scoffs, and then he just realizes how lonely he is, so he decides to go ahead and just give it a shot. And the girl that he gets set up with is Sweetie. The way that it works, at least in this instance, is Ashish's mom invites Sweetie and her mother to lunch to kind of break the ice and get a feel for the situation, and then while they're at lunch, Ashish's mom brings it up, and Sweetie's mom is against the arrangement because Ashish and Sweetie's body types are different, and she thinks that people are going to make fun of her, so she make fun of Sweetie, so she thinks that it's not a good match. And Sweetie is just really hurt by this, and the more she thinks on it, the angrier she gets. So she decides to get Ashish's phone number, and she texts him, and the story goes from there. And I knew I would like this because I loved When Dimple Met Rishi, and I loved With Twinkle with Love. Sandhya Menon is one of my favorite YA contemporary authors. She just writes really sweet, funny, diverse teen lit. I listened to the audiobook the first time, and I listened to it in one sitting. I started it on a Friday night and stayed up all night until I finished it, and I absolutely adored it. And then the next weekend I decided to read it again because I loved it so much. And while I was listening to it that time, again, in one sitting, I decided to annotate while I read it, and as you can tell, I mean, I got tabs all over the place. I obviously gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I've never read a book with such good fat rep. As a fat girl, and I'm not using that phrase negatively, and neither does Sweetie, it's just, you're owning it, you're taking the word back, and just, this is who I am. It's just a descriptor, same as I'm a white person, or I'm a blonde, or what have you. I just felt really seen in this book, and you get inside Sweetie's head, and so you see, like eating at a restaurant, for example, like it's really causes anxiety for fat people because, you know, on one hand, if you order something that may be really fatty or just really decadent, you know, people think, oh my god, you shouldn't eat that, you need to lose weight. But on the other hand, if you order a salad, then people might think, oh my god, who is she kidding? Like, a salad, really? So thoughts like that are things I can relate to, and Sweetie touches on these in her inner dialogues. And also, her mother is so negative. Like, she doesn't mean to be, but just some of her comments, like, there's one instance where Sweetie wants to order this gorgeous outfit for her birthday party, and it's a halter top outfit, and her mom says that she doesn't need it because it'll show off too much of her arms and people will make fun of her. So everything she says is just, people will make fun of you. I love Ashish because he just genuinely does not care that Sweetie is a curvy girl. Just thinks she's beautiful. Just period. I loved seeing that because I think a lot of times in books, even if it's not intended to come off that way, sometimes it's she's beautiful for a fat girl. But Ashish is the basketball star, so he's the hot jock, so to speak, and he just thinks she's beautiful. And I love to see that. And I think that's such an important message for teenage girls because that's such a hard time anyway, no matter what size you are. I loved seeing this in a book that teenagers are going to read and can take to heart. It was so funny and genuinely sweet and hopeful, and it just makes you feel good. Like, you just want to read it because it makes you happy. I have a lot of pink tabs here, and like my key pink is love. So there were a lot of scenes that I love and quotes that I love and just things that just make you go, oh my god, I love him, or oh my god, this is so sweet. And I also love that Sania Menon is of Indian descent, so her books, the characters are mostly from Indian culture. So I think it's so fun to see how that arranged dating worked out with their culture and how it's viewed and how their parents looked at it and how it's just a different background from mine. And I just think it's so cool to read about other backgrounds, and it's so educational, and it's in own voices, which makes it even better. And Sania Menon is just the cutest author ever too, so you should follow her on Instagram and Twitter and all that because she's just sweet and adorable, and all her books I have loved. But this one is my favorite, obviously. But I highly recommend this. Hello, Butch. Hi. Do you have anything to add? He wants attention. Just please go read this book. Just go read it and be happy and joyful. If you read this, if you have, let me know, or if you've read any of her other books. Yeah, let me know down below if you've read any of her books or if you're interested in reading this book and what you thought. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button down below and click the bell icon to be notified anytime I upload new content. See you guys next time. Bye.